Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome to the farm. This is the first day in forever I haven't had to do like 101 things. I do have several things that need done, but not like I'm constantly running. But one thing we have to get done today is put the tomatoes in the ground. I am probably, like I was stressing about it a couple weeks ago when the weather was so nice, but it was still kind of early. Today is the 22nd of May, I believe. And my tomatoes I set out probably over a week ago to harden off. I put them in a kind of shaded, sheltered area and forgot about them. So I need to get them watered. I don't think I'll need all that I planted, but they need some love. And if I don't get it edited out and you randomly hear me yelling at something, we have a foster dog that she got spayed yesterday, and she keeps going after her incision, but she's pretty miserable anyway. So if you see her hear me yelling at her, that's why. Doesn't really have a name for sure, and I think hopefully I found a home for her, but you might see her in this video too. So we'll get to working. My kid just she's very challenged some days. Why don't you not okay, excuse the tractor noise in the background. The farmer, we don't own the field around us, is side dressing, I guess is what they call it. I've grown up on a farm all my life, but I don't know all the technical terms. This thing. Okay. Somebody wants up. Are you hot? Because I'm hot. It's probably approaching 75, 80 degrees. So I have a 16-foot cattle panel. There's several different ways to do your tomatoes. I have not had good luck with the tomato cages. To me, the tomatoes just grow way too big and bushy. I'm struggling. There you go. You want that off? And so I have a 16-foot panel I got for a chicken tractor, and it ended up in the garden. I have a couple shorter ones that were older hand-me-downs. You can use whatever you like. You Google ways to trellis tomatoes and you'll find something. This just works for me, and I also have a way that I like to attach them to the panel, and it was free for me. I gotta see if I still have the pieces. So I laid my panel out back here to see where I actually want my tomatoes, and then I'll drive my posts in. Okay, my eyes are gonna burn out. So I laid my cattle panel out to find out where I want my tomatoes, and then I can drive my posts in with that cattle panel laid out. I see people trying to put T-posts in with like hammers and blocks of wood. I get that's what you have to put them in, but find yourself a post driver. Borrow one, look on Marketplace, Craigslist, you know, this is a piece of pipe that they welded something on the end, I'm pretty sure, that Colton had. It does have some weight to it because they did weld the end and probably put some weight in there, knowing Colton. You just need like a piece of pipe with an end cap welded, or you know, you can find a post driver online. But I'm telling you, it'll make your life so much easier driving those in, and you can get them in better. I have like 6 or 7 foot T-posts, and if I can get them in the ground like 18 inches up, at least up to the top of the spade, it gives it so much more stability. I can put 15 or more tomato plants on there, and each plant probably by the end of the season weighs 30 or 40 pounds by the time you get all the tomatoes and the foliage and everything on there. So this is my T-post, and you can't even see the top of it because it's way up here. But what I want to show you is this spade end. And my dad always had the rule, so therefore I have the rule that if you have a spade on there, drive it at least in the ground so the spade is in the ground. Because if anybody's walking by and doesn't know that it's in there, they might get a foot in it, a dog might step in it. If you are mowing around it really close, you don't want the mower to catch it. And the spade is what also gives the T-post a bit more stability. It keeps it from, you know, tilting back and forth. So you want that in the ground to begin with. If you know you have a lot of east-west winds, place your, because this is east-west for me, place your T-post so that it's going to brace against, or your spade, against that wind to help hold everything up. Because my cattle panel is going to travel east and west, I'm going to put the spade facing east and west like this, facing me, so that when the panel is on the post, it can help stabilize it and keep it from rocking too much. Now, I'm not good about cleaning up my garden in the fall, so in the spring, if I wobble the T-post back and forth, especially in the loose ground, you know, against the spade and then with the spade, I can mostly pull it out. There are contraptions to help pull it out. There are tricks to pulling it out with another T-post. I can usually pull it out myself, and I've lost a lot of muscle mass in the last few years. So I'm gonna drive my T-post, at least one on each end and maybe two in the middle of the 16-foot cattle panel, just because I know the amount of weight that's gonna be on that panel pulling them. I just sprayed myself with a hose with my foot. What else? I also plant my tomatoes pretty closely, but we'll get there when we come. Anyway, I wanted to make sure that you knew about the post driver and the spade on your T-post. I can't find the usual stuff that I use to wire everything together, so I'm gonna see how far I can get with this stuff, and I'm gonna double it because, like I said before, there's a lot of weight with those tomatoes. I only put 3 posts in because I brought the outside post in a couple sections. I think they're 4 or 6 inches each square. This is a lower gauge wire. If you can find baling wire, I would probably suggest that. This gauge wire is not very sturdy. If you try to tighten it too much, it will break. At the end of the season, when we take it down, it'll probably break. The other stuff I have is actually from wire clothes hangers, and that stuff is stout. Like, it's hard to cut it even with a pair of forceps. So I'm gonna double this. This might be baling wire. It just seems a little light to me for baling wire. And I also want to show you something on your pliers. Will that focus? So you have the regular, I tend to use, I use needle nose pliers for certain things, but sorry, I cannot stand sun. Here's your regular grip, then the keyhole. And if you notice right here, there's a little curve above your hinge. And you can actually put wire in there and cut it. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't know how long a piece I need right now, but I will try to show you when I do it. Okay, hopefully this will focus where it needs to focus. This piece right here is actually the gauge of wire from the coat hangers. I'm not going to use it right here. I probably should. The hardest part about putting this up is not having help because it's so long and awkward. But we make it, I've had to be resourceful, so I'm kind of used to it. My dad taught me to be very resourceful. So the work smarter, not harder. So this is my doubling of my wire. I just kind of eyeball the length and then put it in the keyhole of my pliers. And it's not gonna focus. Voila. And then I like to go across. So I have a vertical and a horizontal, and I like to catch both of those with my T-posts. And then you can do a light twist here, but with your pliers, take it at the twist. So you need your twist and your wire tight from your cattle panel to your T-posts. And if you take your pliers and twist, there's a fine line between twisting it tight and breaking the wire, and that's why a bigger gauge wire is better. However, I will say it is very hard to twist, and my carpal tunnel only lets me do so many with that big gauge wire. And then I like to tuck my wires in, so that way if somebody coming by doesn't catch them, especially little people. Guys, I just have to show you this dog. She's an Australian Shepherd. Hey, what are you doing? She's not happy because she has a spay. We just spayed her yesterday. She's a full-bred Australian Shepherd. You gotta show you a spay scar. She's probably 3 or 4. I think she's 3. Vet thought between 3 and 5. The reason why I have her is because I have a soft spot for Aussies. And somebody dumped her in town. We don't have a very big town. Nobody claimed her. She was sitting there for 10, 12 days. Nobody wanted her. Ellie screamed a little bit ago, and she immediately ran to Ellie. You know, Ellie's a 1.5 years. Most dogs don't appreciate toddlers climbing on them, pulling on them. She loves her, and I don't. And Ellie's fine if you hear her in the background. She just wants attention. I checked on her, of course, when she screamed, and I don't anticipate keeping her. Raisin's kind of a one dog house dog. She doesn't like to divide our attention, but I don't understand why anybody would dump a dog like this. It just frustrates me to no end. She listens when I yell at her to stop licking her incision, which you don't want her to do it at all. She had to wear a cone overnight. She was freaking out, but long story short, come here, baby. We don't know her name. We've tried 100 different ones. I've been kind of calling her Dell, short for Adelaide, because I have we've had 3 Aussies in the past. 2 of them I named. One was Sydney. The one I have now is Melby. I think she's been in a couple of videos, especially the older videos. I did a video, I think a long time ago, about the right farm dog for you. So Adelaide is a city in Australia, and for now I've been kind of calling her Dell, but I think I do have a home for her. Hopefully, like I said, I don't anticipate keeping her, but I know they're expensive, but you should know that going in, that dogs can be expensive. They can have a lot of desires, or needs, I should say. She is kind of needy emotionally. She immediately went on the couch and on the bed when I tried the first night, and last night she was different because she was wearing the cone of shame. You're all right, baby? But a young Aussie that doesn't try to herd Ellie, because Aussies, that's one of the problems people have with Aussies, is their job is to herd and to protect, and they can be nervous Nellies. So you need to socialize them, and you need to work with them. You need to give them a job. They need to be outside. They need to be with their family. That's why we have always had really good Aussies. I continually see aggressive, frightened, nervous. She's kind of nervous, but she's been tossed around. She was dumped or abandoned, or whatever her story is. Raisin doesn't like sharing attention. But guys, don't take on a dog without knowing how they actually are. My Aussies are good because they have a job. They do things mentally and physically, and that's what Aussies need. They, to me, are my perfect dog, almost. You know, they do have some neurotic tendencies that do drive me nuts. But she has just been an amazing dog for the 2 days that we've had her. And I am so frustrated that somebody would just say, nope, not my dog, not my problem. So anyway, just a little interlude here for you. Okay. Okay, so I have 1 Isis candy, 1 Sheboygan, 3 Jersey Devils. I think that's it. That's the end of them. And then on the other side, I have 3 Black Prince and maybe 2 Gold Medal. And I need to plant a bunch of Amish paste yet. I did panic buy seeds off of Amazon, and they took, so I need to get those transplanted as well. All right, guys, we are gonna end it for today. I'm not gonna get that trellis up tonight. I gotta get supper going, and someone has been not only messing with my labels, she's been messing with my plants and playing in the water because I needed to water everything down. You're a hot mess, aren't you? You're very wet. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing to our channel, liking the video, any comments, we'd appreciate it. It helps out our channel and it helps us grow, and it helps out our farm. So thanks, guys. Have a good one.